So this is the Marvel Studios first 10 years Captain America Civil War 2 pack, which is on clearance at Walmart for $13. It's a really good deal. So that's basically $6.15 per really awesome figure. And I got two of these. One of these is for a friend, and one I'm just going to show you with another figure I bought. The box is very nice, as you can see. On the back it has little brief character bios and a good picture of the Civil War poster from that movie, one of the best Avengers movies. Kind of, some people say it was Avengers 2.5. Here is a little, it says, although the Avengers survive a strike by Crossbones on Lagos, dozens of civilians are killed in the altercation. As a result, the team is presented with the Sokovia Accords, an agreement designed to keep the heroes in check, and must individually choose which side of the law they stand with. And then that little bit is in different languages. 2016, very nice set. So this is the worst backdrop in the world. It's an envelope, but it's white, so you can contrast the figures. So let's start with Captain America and his very amazing shield. And I'm gonna take the shield off. He doesn't want to let go. And the shield itself is very cool. It's good hard plastic. It's extremely well painted. I don't see any imperfections on the painting. It has the straps on the back. The only problem is you can't connect it to his back without glue or something, or taking these straps off, but that's okay. The figure itself is the same kind of articulation we've come to expect from Marvel Legends, which is just good articulation. Sorry, there's some furniture being moved downstairs. I hope that doesn't ruin the video for you. But I'm just showing you the different points of articulation on his ankles. You can get him in all kinds of great action poses. His torso has that bend down, which is very cool. He has a separate belt, which doesn't come off, but you can, it can be moved a little bit on him. He has his Avengers patch on either shoulder, his star, and his A for America. Now, if we remove the head, there is an alternate. Okay. And this is it fits very tight, but it's a very good, perhaps the best likeness I've ever seen of Chris Evans. You can look down, look straight. As you can see, the neck piece is also a separate piece here too, so I don't want to fool with it too much. I think these figures are really for display more than anything, because there's a lot of pieces, and I think they would display very well. Very cool. Let's give him his shield back. That is a very cool figure. I finally own a Captain America, and I think it's a great addition to my small collection of Marvel Legends figures. So, I mean, he's the first Avenger, and the likeness to Chris Evans is superb. Just a great likeness. The next figure I want to show you is Crossbones. And the first thing I want to point out is see the very faint cross painted on his bulletproof vest, which is an homage to the comic book Crossbones that had a much more prominent cross. It's hard to see, and it was hard to see in the movie too. But this figure, it's a very interesting figure because this vest actually is removable, as you can see. And underneath is an articulated figure wearing the black shirt, and but it was also a huge pain to take it off and put it back on. These punching mechanisms also are removable. As you can see, he's holding them, and you could twist it and take it off of his grip and take it off if you wanted to, but that's another thing that I think would be very hard to get back on. I might try it sometime off camera. He also has a pistol here that isn't a pistol accessory. You can see the barrel and everything, the trigger, but it's glued in there, so you're not going to get it out, which is fine. I mean, just another thing to lose. But so he has a lot of things that do come off of this, and I'm sure the torso underneath is probably a repack from some other figure. But I just want to point out some of the cool things. He has these shotgun shells and knives and magazines and all kinds of just literally items all over attached to him. They're carefully put on. So this figure was very well made. The articulation is limited a little bit because of the vest. So he, even though if you were to take the vest off, you would be able to move him at the waist like Captain America. But the articulation, like Marvel Legends figures, is great. You can put him in amazing fight poses. And he does have a alternate head that we're going to put on here. This is the character's face without the mask. There's a lot more posability when you put the alternate head on. Even more posability than Captain America's head. His face is smashed up and damaged, burned, like the character was in the movie. I believe in the comic books, if I recall, in Marvel Civil War, Crossbones kills Captain America, I think. But in the movie, Crossbones is brought in, shown to be a threat, and killed and dispatched pretty quickly. Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon, I think, take care of him without much fuss. So, so he was built up, if you recall, in Winter Soldier, this character was built up to be a real threat to Captain America. I think he caught his shield or something, you know, in one of their first fights. But he got, you know, he got the old Snoke treatment in Civil War. You know, he was built up all for nothing and just dispatched. But nonetheless, still a very cool figure. All the different articulation. And a good thing about Marvel Legends figures, as my friend told me, is they stand very well. You don't need stands for them. So you can get them in great poses and they'll stand up. Now, this last figure I want to show you is a personal favorite of mine. Some people may not like this one. He may be a peg warmer, but I love Morbius. And you should love Morbius too, because there's one of the next Marvel movies coming out is Morbius the Eternal Vampire. And what a very good articulated figure this is. He can howl. His claws, I mean, his face, this sort of vampire werewolf face, oh, just loaded with articulation. And the painting makes it very hard to see any seams as you pose him. So the Morbius movie is going to star Jared Leto in his next foray into comics. I guess the Joker didn't work out now that Joaquin Phoenix is replacing him. I want to take a sip of coffee here. So Morbius comes with 2 capes. He comes with a Batwing cape, which is very, very cool. You can line it up with his arms. And he comes with a sort of closed cape. So if you want to have him without the Batwing, this is like how he would normally be. And this would expand into that and he could fly. So even if you're not into Marvel and you're just into horror figure collecting, this is a figure you would want, because I mean he looks like, I mean he is the horror superhero, so to speak, but I mean he's a great figure, and he's creepy, and look at the paint. I can get to focus. It's just really well done. That pasty, lumpy skin. Just a good figure. I can't decide which one I like the best. Probably Captain America, because number one, the face sculpt is just great. I'm probably going to keep this head on it. This is how we usually see Captain America anyway. And for once, Hasbro's made a good Chris Evans head sculpt. And it's just a high quality figure. The colors, the paint, everything is just right on this figure. Oh, I hear a kitty cat. I think this might be my favorite. Crossbones is a complicated figure, a highly detailed figure, a menacing looking figure. I think I prefer him too, with the bare head. I mean, I am really glad to own this one. He makes a great addition. So I am at some point going to try to take these off and see how hard it is. I think you just have to twist it, maybe, but I can just see taking these off and never getting them to fit back on the right way. And I'm a little OCD, and that would probably drive me crazy. And same with this vest. I could see like me taking it off and struggling and tearing it or something. So I'm probably just gonna leave it on, because I think he's just got a very plain torso under there. So I mean, yeah, and even if you did manage to take the vest and the gloves off, you'd still, have all this stuff attached, so you wouldn't ever get like a, office building crossbones or whatever. So the other thing, Morbius came with 2 Build-A-Figure parts for Absorbing Man, and if there's ever been a Build-A-Figure that I wanted to build, it's got to be Absorbing Man. If you've ever seen this figure, I mean, oh my gosh, this figure, he comes with a wrecking ball. I really want that one, so I'm gonna be looking for parts. So many great poses you can get them into. Like sunlight. It's very loose here.